Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Wendy's Kooky Crochet Tutorial. In this video, we are going to be making a jumper. To me, this is kind of inspired by like a 1970s kind of vibe. I don't know. I just, I just like the look of it. And I have all this yarn laying around that probably was either given to me or I may have got it in an estate sale, who knows. So it's all worsted weight for acrylic yarn. This one's an old Red Heart Super Saver. I think they're all probably Red Heart Super Saver, just like vintage looks. Anyway, so they're kind of all coordinating colors here. And so I'm going to start with my multicolored yarn. And you're going to need to do some measurements first. So you're going to need, I'll probably demonstrate this and insert this video here, but you're going to need to measure. All right, guys, so to measure or to do this, you're going to need a few measurements. So one, you're going to need like from your underarms down to your hip here. So this is, I did about 9 inches here for this part, and then another couple of inches. So this is about 11 inches there. And then you're going to need a measurement around your body. So you're going to need measurement right here around your body. So it's about 31 for me, but I'm going to make it 1 inch shorter because you can see how much this stretches. And then you're also going to need the measurement from, again one more time, from your waist all the way down to, hate to say kind of the crotch area, but kind of the crotch area. So that is going to be your other measurement. It's about 18, 19 for me. So that is the 3 measurements you are going to make. Under your arms, around your back, and like all the way around you. So I measured me and mine came out to 31 inches. And then you're also going to need to measure like from under your arms down to like your kind of hip bone area, and I measured that already, and that is 9 inches. So now you know how big to make this first part. And again, I'll probably insert something in here that shows you that. So I'm going to be using, again, worsted weight for yarn, my 5mm crochet hook. And to start with, what I'm going to do is I am going to chain to almost my 9 inches. I'm going to leave a pretty good tail there to work in also. So make your slip knot, and then chain. So this is from your underarm kind of area to your hip area is where you're chaining to right now. I really like these colors, dude. They're really pretty. What do you guys think? You think these colors are pretty? I do. And I have not been counting my chains, but it's not a bad idea to do that. And like I said before, I got to 31 inches around my back, above my chest, and under my arms. I'm going to make this about 30 inches because the yarn is going to stretch. So I am about, wait, let's line it up correctly. I'm about 8 inches, so I'm going to do right at 8.5 inches actually. Let's do, and because I'm going to add a row of something else here, so that stretches actually all the way to 9. So that's probably going to be good because it will stretch some. All right, that's what I want there. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn. I'm going to skip that first stitch here, and I'm just going to make single crochets all the way down. 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way down. And this, I want this to be really, really simple for you guys too, so just FYI, I don't want this to be like a hard pattern to make. I want you guys to be able to do this, especially, if you haven't been making patterns for too long. I think this would be, something super fun to start out with. Again, just 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way down. And I want to let you know that I will be speeding parts of this video up, and I will be, you know, telling you to pause in certain places and just wait, you know, until you get to your next step, because some of this is going to be extremely, extremely repetitive. And if you like what you're seeing already, please subscribe to my channel, guys. I literally jump up and down. I'm so excited every time like somebody subscribes to my channel. I'm just so thankful I get to make these crochet videos for you to, you know, hang out with me, make these along with me. If you can see, most of my stuff, I really like bright colors. I don't know why I like bright colors as much as I do, but I really do like bright colors. So I use a lot of bright colors in the stuff that I make. But of course, you know, I would say you make everything in whatever you like. But I don't know why I always like bright colors, but I always have. Like, if I think like, I don't know, I don't know, I just like wearing bright colors. I guess that's it. Yeah, that's all there is to it. I just like it. So, cool for me, right? Alright, when you get to the end, you're going to chain one and turn. And now what you're going to do is you have like your front loop, which is the one closest to you, and then you have a back loop, which is the one furthest away. So now you're just going to do one single crochet in each stitch all the way down in that back loop. So here I'm just inserting my hook kind of like from the top there, you see, and just doing a single crochet in each stitch all the way down. And remember, the back loop, whatever way you turn this, the back loop is always the one furthest away from you. See how it makes that nice little ridge there? That's what I am looking for, people. And I'm doing this, I want to do this not super loosely because I do want to do it kind of tight since this is going to be my top area. And it's a good idea also to count your, like how many stitches you have. I didn't, but it is a good idea. So, especially if you're just starting out, if you can't see which stitch you're ending and beginning with, or you could use a stitch marker and mark your first and last stitches just so you know which is which. So I've got one more stitch to work in right here. And again, I'm going to chain one and turn. And now I'm going to repeat that again. So I'm going to work in that back loop, and I'm going to do one single crochet in that back loop all the way down. And then I'm just going to keep doing this back and forth until I get to the 30 inches that I need. Again, I measured 31, but I'm going to make it a little bit smaller because one, I know it's going to stretch, and two, I actually want it to like hold up and not, you know, be down at my waist most of the time. So that's why I'm going to, I don't have to pull it up constantly is what I'm saying basically. So I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. And again, I'm just doing 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way down. In the back loop of each stitch, I should say, all the way down. It'll give it almost like an accordion kind of look, I want to say. At least that's the way I think of it. Alright, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And you see kind of how it's making that kind of bump out right there? That's what I'm looking for. So again, you're going to work in that back loop, 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way down. I'll probably speed it up a little bit because I do want you to see the accordion, and then I'm going to tell you to pause the video, and then we'll come back when you get the length that you need. I really want this pattern to be very inclusive of every different person and different people's size. So you see how it's making this accordion look? That's exactly what I'm going for. So guys, now each row you just chain 1 and turn, and you work in single crochets in the back loop in each stitch. Chain 1, turn, and do that all over again. And you do this till you have the inches that you need. So I'm going to do this to 30 inches. And again, you see how it stretches here? That's why I'm doing it to 30 inches, because there's quite a bit of stretch in this, and I don't want to be pulling it up constantly. So pause right here, guys, and I will see you back here when you are at the inch. I've got the size that I need, so now I'm going to just chain 1 at the end, and then I'm going to line my piece up here, and I'm going to slip stitch down the piece. So I'm going to insert my hook into my original side, so just right into that original stitch, that first stitch. And I'm going to insert my hook into the first single crochet there, and I'm just going to slip stitch all the way down. And I had 35 on this, so I'll have 35 slip stitches. And yours should be the same size on each side, so it doesn't really matter which side's the inside or outside, unless there's something different about yours that you would like one side to be the inside or outside. But this is going to be my inside right here. So where I'm slip stitching down is going to be my inside of my piece. So when we're done, I'm going to turn this inside out. And of course I have not been counting, but that's okay. Sometimes that's the way it is. So I kind of wanted to go with that kind of goldish color at first, but after looking at how busy this is, I'm like, I don't know, do I really want to do that? Will that make it way too busy? That's an issue I'm having right now, is what, is it going to make it too busy or is it going to be okay? And honestly, I'm kind of leaning towards it might make it a little too busy, because I don't want it to look just like, I don't know, crazy busy. I mean, it's already crazy busy with this super cool yarn that I have here. I actually love this yarn. This is like my colors. So, you know, I do love this. See here, it looks like I could be maybe a stitch off, but that's okay. I'm just going to insert my hook into the same one. I'm going to fudge it a little bit, pull through, and then I'm at my final one here. Again, that's okay. You can fudge it just a little bit if somehow you're a little bit off or you skipped one or something happened. Now you're going to chain one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this the other way, so I'm going to turn it inside out now. Right, there we go. So now I'm all sewed up. You really can't see the seam. It's fairly invisible here, which is really great. So now I'm just going to make one single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'll be a lot, just by the way. So just find your end of your rows and make one single crochet in each row, I should say, all the way down. And I'm kind of doing it on the down slope here of these rows. And again, just one single crochet in each one all the way down. And I don't want it to be like too big, you know what I mean? I hate to say it like that, that sounds weird. But I don't want to add more rows than I need to. It'd probably be a good idea even just to add a little fewer rows, just because that'll make it cinch up a little bit tighter. Because this is what I'm going to say is my top area here. So again, you're just continuing one single crochet at the end of each of those rows. And if you wanted to do a couple of decreases, you could, just to make sure that it's nice and cinched in for you. So like right here, if I wanted to make a decrease, I could do that right there, and then go on till I get to, I don't know, my other side, just to make sure that it is nice and cinched in. I'm doing the decrease on the down side here when I do it, just FYI. So it's not in like in the middle of the raised bump area. Of course, if you do one on one side, you probably want to do one on the other side too, just FYI. Alright guys, so this is going to be the top of my chest, so like under my arm area, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side, but that side's going to be the side that's down by my hip, so I'm definitely not going to do any decreases there because I'm sure I'm going to want it to be larger, the side that's down by my hip. So that is what we're going to do there. Alright, we'll do, so when you get to your last one, there's my last one, now you're just going to slip stitch to that first single crochet that you made, and you're going to tie it off and leave a tail long enough to sew in. And now you're going to flip it over to the other side and you're going to connect your yarn, and I'm just going to connect it with a slip stitch, and I'm going to connect it in the back just because I like to keep everything the same side, but you can connect it wherever you want. That is up to you. I'm going to connect it, let's say here-ish. So yeah, right there. Alright, so I'm just going to connect it with a slip stitch, and then I'm going to just do one single crochet in each stitch again all the way down, but this is my hip area, so I am not going to reduce any on this area since it's going to be where my hip is going to be. And I'm going to work over my ends here because you can do that if you want to. And guys, I am going to meet you back here. I'm going to meet you back here whenever we are done with our with this side. So pause here, finish doing your both your sides, your one single crochet in each stitch all the way around, or at the end of each row all the way around, and I will meet you back here, everybody. So now I'm at my last stitch, and I'm just going to slip stitch the first single crochet that I made, and I'm going to fasten this color off. And then I'm going to grab another color. I decided to go with all solids. I was going to go with like the gold color at first, but then I'm like, I don't know, that's super busy. So now I'm going to go back to my top. So I made more stitches in the bottom than I did the top here, but not like by many. I just did my decreases here, so it's only a few more. So now I'm going to grab the scrappy blue that I have, and I am going to attach it. Look, I could literally attach this to here and it looks like the same exact color. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. That's going to be crazy. That's so fun. I'm like genuinely excited that this is like the same color here, but it's a solid. I know, funny, right? But seriously, like I'm genuinely excited about that. Alright, so now along the top and bottom we're going to do a star stitch. So I'm just going to pull up a loop. I didn't have to disconnect it. Oh, that's so nice. I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to go in that second chain from my hook. So this is the first, this is the second, this is the third. So I'm going to go in that second chain from my hook, and I'm going to just pull up a loop. And then I'm going to go into that third chain from my hook, and I'm going to pull up another loop. Then I'm going to go into that original stitch that I attached to here. I'm going to pull up another loop. So now I have 4 loops. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go into the next stitch, pull up a loop. There's 5. I'm going to go into the next stitch and pull up a loop. There's 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to pull through all 6. I'm going to chain 1. And that is the first of my very first star stitch. So now for my star stitch, I'm going to go into where I did that chain 1, that little kind of opening spot right here. and I'm going to insert my hook. I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to insert my hook now into this this little leg of my star stitch from before. So insert my hook, pull up a loop. Now I've got 3. I'm going to insert my hook into that last stitch right here that I made the star stitch in. So the last single crochet. So I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop. Now I have 4, and I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and then insert my hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop. I'll have 6 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through all 3, and then chain 1. And I'm going to keep doing this all the way around. So again, insert your hook into that kind of middle loop there, yarn over, pull up a loop, insert your hook into that last kind of leg here of the previous star stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, insert your hook into that single crochet from the last leg of that star stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 4, insert your hook into the next single crochet, pull up a loop, and insert your hook into the next single crochet, pull up a loop. You'll have 6 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through all 6, and chain 1. And just keep doing that all the way around. And I will show you, if it doesn't come out even, just how to kind of fudge it a little bit. That way it doesn't matter how many stitches you have. I mean, you can always fudge any of this a little bit. I love this star stitch. I think it's like really one of the most beautiful stitches ever. Okay guys, I'm at my last stitch here, so I'm going to just do what I've been doing. Alright, that worked out actually great, which is surprising. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip stitch to that first stitch that I made. And I'm going to slip stitch to the middle of this eye right here. So you see how the eye is right there? I'm going to slip stitch to that. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to do 2 half double crochets in that stitch. And then I'm going to go to the next stitch, to the next eye. I'm going to do 2 half double crochets in the next little eye there, or that middle stitch, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to skip to the next one. And then I'm going to keep on doing this just all the way around. You see how it kind of makes that star look there? That is exactly what we're going for. So we're just going to do 2 half double crochets in that eye all the way around, and I will meet you back here when you're done. So you can pause the video now until and we'll pick it back up when you're done with this round. Alright, I finished both of mine, so now I'm just going to slip stitch to that first half double crochet that I made. And then I'm going to cut my yarn and leave a tail long enough to sew in. And now I'm going to attach my yarn to the other side here, and I'm going to do it pretty much exactly like I just did the other one, except at least for this first round. So on round one, you're just going to do it exactly like you did the other one. So I am going to grab my yarn here, and I'm just going to slip stitch it on any stitch here. Now I'm going to chain 3. I already pretty much chained 1, so there's 2, 3, and I'm going to insert my hook in that second chain from my hook. Oops. I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to insert my hook in that first chain that I made. I'm going to pull up a loop, and then I'm going to insert my hook into the same stitch that I attached to, pull up a loop, that's 4, insert my hook into the next stitch, that's 5 loops on my hook, insert my hook into the next stitch, and that is 6 loops on my hook. Now I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull through every single one of those, and I'm going to chain 1, and that is my first part of my star stitch. And then I'm just going to repeat what I did earlier. So I'm going to, for the next one, I'm going to insert my hook into that little spot right there, that's kind of that middle spot. I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to insert my hook in between these 2 little legs here of the star stitch. I'm going to pull up a loop, and then I'm going to insert my hook back into the stitch that I've already worked on my main one here. I'm going to pull up a loop, and I'm going to insert my hook into that next stitch, and I'm going to insert my hook into the stitch after that, and I'm going to yarn over, pull through all 6 stitches on my hook, and I'm going to chain 1. I'm just going to keep repeating that all the way down. So the next one, I'm going to just keep doing the same exact thing I've been doing. And if you guys want a slowed down video, I do have a slowed down video of how to do a star stitch. So I'll try to remember to link that in the description. Hopefully I will remember. This is literally one of my favorite stitches. I think it's just such an absolutely beautiful stitch. Alright guys, pause the video here, and when you get all the way back around to where you started, I will meet you there. Alright, I'm all the way back around. You see here how I've got like 1 stitch left. So what I'm going to do with that, since this one didn't work out perfect like the other ones, I'm going to do just like I did before with these. I'm going to go into the same stitch there, so there's 4. I'm going to go into the next stitch, 5, and then I'm going to go back into this first stitch right here. And then I'm going to pull through all 6 of those and chain 1. And I'm going to slip stitch to the top of that first half double, or yeah, to the top of the one of the legs here actually. And then I'm going to slip stitch to the middle stitch, which is right here, and then I'm going to do my half double crochets. I'm going to chain 1 first actually, and then do half double crochets. So this time I want this to be wider now, like for my hips, so I'm going to do 3 half double crochets in each stitch all the way around. So this will make it quite a bit wider, and it makes a kind of star flare a little bit more too. So the eye of that stitch, 3 half double crochets in each of those all the way around. And again, this will make it flare quite a lot, which is what I'm wanting. Alright, you see how it's making the the star stitch a little wider there, and it's really going to make this flare out now kind of at your hips. So this is the hip area, and this is the top area, so the area under your arms. And guys, you're just going to keep on doing that all the way around, and I will see you back here once you've got all the way around. Okay, now we're got 3 half double crochets in each of our little points here. So now we're just going to slip stitch to the first half double crochet that we made. And actually I'm going to go ahead and cut this yarn because I'm going to use a different color of yarn now. So I am going to use, now I've been trying to decide which one I want next. Do I want purple next? I want it to be bright and bold next still, or do I want the lighter color? And I think after looking at it quite a bit, I think I'm going to go with the purple next. So I'm going to switch colors here. And I'm going to chain 1. Don't forget to end up working in your ends later, guys. And now I'm going to half double crochet in that back loop. So start in the stitch that you chained 1 in, and do 1 half double crochet in each stitch in that back loop. So here you have your front loop, and here's your back loop. So you're going to want to half double crochet in that back loop in each stitch, 1 in each stitch now. And you're just going to continue to do that all the way around. It's a good thing I like bright colors, huh, people? Alright, and this yarn's going to be fun to work with because it's a really tight roll here. And again, you're just going to continue to do this all the way around. And guys, if you like what you're seeing, please consider subscribing to my channel. Like, it literally just means the world to me every time I get a new subscriber. I'm like jumping up and down. I'm so excited. So please subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, and like this video so you can find it and come back later. And with that, you can pause the video again, and I will meet you back here whenever you're all the way around to your first half double crochet on this round. Now I'm back at that first, all the way around, back the first half double crochet that I made. So now I'm just going to slip stitch that first half double crochet. And I'm going to chain 1. And now I'm going to work in the next stitch. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch back and forth between same stitch and next stitch on each row. That way it keeps my seam straight. And I'm just going to go through both stitches now, not front or back, and just half double crochet around. And I am going to do this until I reach a total of this whole thing being 18 inches long. That'll make it about an inch below my crotch. So I measured from my underarm to about an inch below my crotch area. I guess that's how you say that properly. I don't really know what the proper way to say it is, but you know, you get what I mean. So you measure that distance, and that is how long you make this piece. And then after that, we will make the join in the middle. And then we will work from there. And so I will see you back here, guys, when this is, for me, 18 inches long. For you, however long that you need to be, about 1 inch from your underarm, about 1 inch below your crotch area. So I will see you back here when we are there, guys. Now I've got mine to 18 inches, which is what I needed. So literally, you could leave it like this and just make this a dress, like a little mini skirt. You could keep on going around if you wanted a dress that's longer. That would be super duper cute. But what I want to do is I want it to be kind of like a long pants kind of situation here. So what I'm going to do is this is the back, by the way, because this is where my join stitches are. And since I staggered, you can't really see where the join is as well. So that's pretty much what I wanted. So I had 188 stitches around total. So half of that is 94, so I counted 94 and I marked this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to just go back one stitch. So I'm going to slip stitch, back one stitch. Let me do that. There we go. And now I'm going to chain. I'm going to chain. You can chain as many as you want, but I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm chaining 4, and I'm going to slip stitch now into the stitch right before my marked middle stitch. So I'm going to slip stitch into this stitch, and I'm going to chain 1. Oh, I'm not. I'm going to slip stitch into that stitch, and then I'm going to slip stitch into this next stitch also. And now I'm going to half double crochet 1 in each of these chains, so there will be a total of 4. So that's 1, 2, oops. 3, and 4. Now you're going to slip stitch into your next stitch, not the one you connected to, but the next one. And then you're going to slip stitch into that next stitch. You're going to chain 1, and you're going to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way down. So there's 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what? I need to start over that. That wasn't an actual stitch, was it? Alright, you're going to do 1, chain 1, you're going to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way down, so you'll have a total of 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, one more is 4. Then you're going to half double crochet in the marked stitch and your next stitch. And you're going to see that there's a little kitty cat here. Now you're going to half double crochet again, 1 in each stitch all the way down. So there's 1, 2, 3, one more is 4, and now you're going to slip stitch to that next stitch. And so now, like if you wanted some cute little short shorts, you could just wear it like this and you'd have some cute little short shorts. But that's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to now chain 1. I'm going to go back into the same stitch, and I'm going to do a half double crochet decrease. And then I'm going to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Like literally when you do this, you could literally stop at any point in time that you are happy with yours, the length of yours, or anything of that nature. So this is what I'm doing right here. And I'm probably going to try this on to see exactly how long I want this for me. So again, 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. And you're pretty much going to do the decrease that we did on this side, you're going to do it on that side, and then when you're happy with how long it is on one side, then you're going to cut your yarn and attach it to the other side and do the exact same thing. Alright, so now we are again, actually, I'm going to take that stitch out. So stop one stitch before where you made the area for the crotch at. So now I'm going to do my half double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches. And then I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 4, and this is the opposite side of, or no it's not. So I'm just 1 half double crochet in each of the next 4, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to slip stitch that first half double crochet, so that's that decrease. Now you're going to chain 3. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do triple crochets all the way around. So I'm going to start in that next stitch. So 1 triple crochet in each stitch. This will make it a little bit airier for your leg area, which is definitely a good thing. We don't want it to be, I made a double crochet instead of a triple in that one. We don't want it to be too hot because I'm definitely going to be wearing this like in the summer months. So I don't want this to be super, super hot. So you're just going to do 1 triple crochet in each stitch all the way around. Then when you get back to your first stitch, you're going to when you get back to the first stitch, which is this chain here, you're going to slip stitch in the top of the chain there. To me, this kind of has like a little bit of a 1970s boho kind of vibe. That's kind of why I was digging this. I think it looks very, very cool. Alright, so now I'm back to the first one I made, so I'm just going to slip stitch to the top of that chain 3. And now I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to keep on going again until I get to the top of my knee area. So you make yours as long as what you want, and I will see you back here when I am at the top of my knee. So pause the video here, guys. Alright guys, so it gets so hot here in summer, I have decided I want mine to be shorts. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the purple and I'm going to attach it on the other side, and I'm going to do the same thing I just did on the other side. So I'm going to half double crochet around and make a half double crochet decrease in each of these, and then I'm going to do 2 rows. You can do more or less if you want, so 2 rows of triple crochet. So when you get that done, meet me back here. Alright, now I'm going to reattach my lighter blue yarn. I'm going to fasten this color off, grab my lighter blue yarn, and we're going to do our star stitch around. So I'm just going to slip stitch any of the stitches. I like attaching at the crotch area, that way you don't see your attachment and leave your tail end long enough to work in. Okay, now that counts as the first chain, so now I'm going to chain 2 more. So remember, chain 1, 2. You're going to insert your hook into the second stitch from your hook, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the stitch you attached to, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the next stitch after that, pull up a loop. So now you have 5 loops. Insert your hook into the next stitch after that, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all your loops, chain 1. And that is your first star stitch again. Now the second one, you're going to insert your hook into the eye, that middle part of the star there. So insert your hook there, pull up a loop, you're going to insert your hook into that leg of the star and pull up a loop. You're going to insert your hook into where you the very last stitch that your star came out of, pull up a loop, and then you're going to insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all. Then you're just going to repeat that all the way around. Until you get to the other side. And when you get to the other side, I will see you back here, guys. Pause the video here and work on getting to the other side. Again, you can make this as long as you want it to be. Yours doesn't have to be as short as mine. I just know I live in Texas and the summers are super, super hot here. So I am definitely going to need to make sure this is shorts for mine. And I will see you back here in a few, everybody. I'm at my last stitch here, so I'm going to put my last leg into the first one that I started with all the way around. I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to slip stitch to that first star that I made, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the middle right here. Then I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to do 2 half double crochets all the way around. It's a little bit hard to maneuver because it's getting larger now. So in the eye of your star stitch, you want to do 2 half double crochets in each one. Do that all the way around. And when you're done with this, I will meet you back here. We will tie this off and we will attach it to the other side. And we're going to do the same exact thing on the other side. Alright, I'm back to the beginning. I made my 2 half double crochets in each of the eyes of the storm. So I'm going to slip stitch into that first half double crochet that I made. And I'm going to tie this one off. Now I'm going to attach my yarn to the other side, and make sure that when you are tying it off that you leave a strand that is long enough to sew in later. Alright, so now I'm just going to, and I'm starting of course in the middle, the crotch area there. I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, just like before. I'm going to insert my hook in the second chain from my loop and pull up a loop, insert my hook in the next chain, pull up a loop, that's 3, insert my hook into where I slip stitched out of, or where I attached to, that's 4, and then into the next 2, there's 5 and 6. Now I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to pull through all, I'm going to chain 1. So that's again the start. So now you want to put your hook into the eye of your star, pull up a loop, put it into that last leg of the star, pull up a loop, put it into where your last leg of your star comes out of, pull up a loop, there's 4, and then you're going to go into the next 2, so there's 1, oops, 2, and you'll have 6 loops on your hook, and you're going to pull through, chain 1, and you're just going to keep repeating that all the way around till you get right back to your first, and then we will finish our star stitch on this side. Now we are all the way back around, so we're just going to slip stitch to that first stitch we made, and then we're going to slip stitch to the middle of the star, so that little hole there, and now you're going to chain 1 and you're going to do 2 half double crochets just like before in each of that kind of middle hole that you see right here. So 2 half double crochets in each one of those, and then when we get all the way back around, you're going to slip stitch to the first stitch that you made, and then you're going to work in all your ends and you are going to be done, people. Again, you can make this in any length that you Alright, now we are all the way back around. We're just going to slip stitch to the top of that first half double crochet that we made, and we're going to tie off our yarn. And of course leave it long enough so you can work it in. Alright guys, so we came all the way back around, and now I am going to grab my aqua color yarn here, and I'm going to go around the top. So I'm just going to connect this, and I'm going to go in the back loop only, and I'm just going to do a half double crochet all the way around in each stitch in the back loop only. So again, slip stitch to your first stitch made there, and then half double crochet in the back loop, 1 in each stitch all the way around. I seriously love all these colors together. I think they're so pretty. You know, I would not have thought about making this like this in the first place if it wasn't for like thinking about like this boho 70s idea that I got here. And then after we go all the way around with this, I want to do a star stitch on top of this, another round of star stitches on top of this. Again, I think that will look super cute, everybody. So just 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around, and pause the video here, and I will see you back here, everybody. I'm all the way around, so now I'm just going to slip stitch to that first half double crochet that I made. And now I'm going to do a star stitch on top of this. So I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to, again, same thing that we did earlier, I'm going to insert my hook in the second chain from my hook. I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to insert my hook in the next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop. I'm going to insert my my hook into that half double crochet that we slip stitched into, pull up a loop, and then I'm going to insert my hook into the next two, pull up a loop, and I'll have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to yarn over, pull through, and then chain 1. And that is our first star stitch of us just starting out. Now I'm going to insert my hook into that little eye of the star stitch. I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to insert my hook in that last leg of the star stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. I'm going to insert my hook into the last half double crochet that we worked into for our previous round, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 4 loops on your hook now. I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and now I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of the loops, chain 1, and I'm going to repeat that all the way around. So I will see you back here when we are done, guys. We're back to the first the first star stitch we made, so we're just going to slip stitch in the first leg, and then we're going to slip stitch to the eye. Then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do 2 half double crochets in each stitch all the way around, all in the eye. So you skip the stitch in between the eye, and you just do 2 half double crochets in each eye all the way around. And guys, when you get all the way back around, I will see you back here. Alright guys, I'm all the way back around, and I'm going to slip stitch that first half double crochet that I made, and then I'm going to fasten this color off. Okay, so at first I didn't want to do straps. I wanted to do elastic, but I have decided now with my body anatomy after trying it on that I definitely need some straps. So what I'm going to do is I tried it on, and I kind of found in the middle of like where each breast is and just marked that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just attach my yarn on the stitch right before my marked stitch. And I'm going to chain 2, and that's going to count as my first double crochet, and then I'm going to do a double crochet in the marked stitch, and then a double crochet in the next stitch. And I'm going to need this to be pretty long, so chain 2, turn, and then again that chain 2 is going to count as my first double crochet, so 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, chain 2, turn, again that first chain 2 counts as a double crochet, so make sure you work into that top of that chain 2, chain 2, turn, again you're just doing double crochets back and forth, make sure there's 3 in each row, and then when you're satisfied with how long it is, I'm probably going to do like a bunch of rows, so probably, I mean maybe even, we're going to count 25 and just see what that looks like. It may even be 50 rows. So we're going to do a lot of rows here of double crochet. Oops, I did 1 too many in that one, see? Because I worked in that first stitch. That was going to be 4. I just need 3. Alright guys, so when I get to the length that I need, then I will be back. So pause it here. Wait till you get to the length that you need, or maybe you do want to do elastic like I was planning on doing it first, but then decided that I'm just not going to be able to hold it up. And that's okay. I'm all right with that. So I will meet you back here, everybody, when you get to the length you need. And this is going to need to be pretty long because you're going to have to like tie it around your neck and all of that. So I will see you in a bit, guys. Alright guys, so I ended up doing 40 rows here. So now what you're going to do is just fasten this one off and attach your yarn to the other side. So it's going to be the same exact way we did it before. So attach your yarn just to the right side of your stitch marker. And you're going to slip stitch. And you're going to chain 2. And then you're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And that chain 2 counts as your first double crochet. Then you're going to chain 2 and turn. Trying to do it without turning the whole dress here, or the whole jumpsuit I should say. Again, chain 2, turn. And then you're going to do that for me it was a total of 40 rows. It may be more or less depending on you or who you're making this for. If you're making it for a child, it might be you know, a whole lot less than 40 rows. So I will see you back here when we are done with all of our rows, guys. Alright, we're going to fasten this off now and work in our ends and try this baby on, guys. Let's see what it looks like. Alright guys, so we are finished. I hope you enjoyed making this with me. I think it turned out super duper cute, and it's going to be great for our summers here in Texas. So subscribe to my channel and happy hooking, everybody.